Four nights, two candidates, one country. Only one person can take that presidency role. That's my impression of a theatrical US film trailer. And if you thought that was a joke, they are actually doing that in the United States of America right now. They're counting down the election like it's a movie trailer. Coming to a polling station near you. It's unbelievable. Welcome back to the second segment of Ntv Exclusive. I am your host, Abul Hasnath. We have been talking about the US elections, Trump versus Hillary. We've been talking about how the US elections are run, how they're prolonged, what they do to the strain of people's mental application towards voting. It's been insane in the States. So if you've missed the first segment, unfortunately, these are all the things that we've spoken about. We have so much more to talk about the US elections, and with me today I have my guest, Brother Adnan, who has many caps, but I've chosen him to be a very well recognized and quite a popular political blogger because of his interest in politics across the world. Adnan Bhai, enough of me giving a recap, because we had so much to talk about. We left off in the last segment. We were just touching on Hillary, and I think we're probably going to spend a bit more time on Hillary's popularity here. But one thing, before we actually come into Hillary's popularity, which will tie in with what I'm going to ask you now, everybody talks about swing state. Right, good old swing states. And just before I let you dig into that, somebody made a really interesting. There was an American who put a YouTube clip up. He made a comparison to say, oh, if you're like a kid and you get on the swing when you're in the park and you swing, that's what it's like. Is this how the Americans address things? Tell me, am I being too critical?
To a certain extent, his explanation of swing state is actually right.
Wow.
So his explanation is to a certain extent right. Right now, there are 15. America has 50 states. Right now, they have 15 swing states. So swing state, and those swing states, they are having 184 electoral votes, and whoever can get these 184 electoral vote is they will become next US presidential US president. So that means those swing states are very, very important because they are holding 184 electoral votes.
So near enough to just completely give it to one.
Exactly. You need 270 electoral votes out of 445 electoral votes to become US president. 270, and those swing state, they are holding 184, which is both,
nearly like 80%.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. So both candidates, they need to, they are both of them. They are very busy at this moment, working very hard, trying to reach out the communities, so that they can make a difference in all those swing states. I can name few of the swing states, as for example, Alaska, Michigan, North Carolina, Arizona. Those are swing states.
It's interesting you mentioned Michigan, because there's a
Michigan,
good, sorry, I should say Michigan, right, let me get that pronunciation right. Sorry, Americans, I'll get it right for you, right. Michigan, quite a big Bengali population.
Oh, yes,
there.
yes, definitely. And Michigan, actually, they are Republican dominating at this moment.
Wow.
But is because of not just because of the demography, but also at the same time the way politics work in every state. And say, for example, North Carolina is another swing state. And what I found is Hillary Clinton is taking all the high-profile Democratic speakers, as for example, Michelle Obama was there a few days back, because irrespective of politics, whatever political spectrum you belong to, either this is Democratic or Republican, they cherish their first lady. Michelle Obama is very, very popular in America. So Hillary Clinton was very smart, taking Michelle Obama to North Carolina if she can make any difference. And if you look into
And has that helped her popularity?
yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. If you look into the crowd, they said, of course, we will vote for Hillary Clinton, but we are here to see Michelle Obama, and the crowd was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And if you compare that crowd with any other state, it was it was significant and quite visible. So those swing states are very important. Right now, both candidates, they need to carefully consider, they need to work hard in order to reach out the communities on those swing states, and those swing states will make the huge difference. And there are few states, as for example, California.
Yeah.
California has highest number of electoral votes. California has 53 electoral votes. And if you look into history, starting from 1996, California is Democrat all the time, starting from 1996. So Hillary Clinton is lucky, and somehow she is privileged to have that state. But also at the same time, there are other states, as for example, Texas. Texas is another state having a very good number of electoral votes, which is actually Republican dominant. So they need to reach out to communities.
I mean, Texas epitomizes
exactly
the Trump effect.
Oh yes, yes. So both candidates, they have to work hard in order to reach those swing states, and those swing states are very, very vital because they will make the decision at the end of the day.
Let's take a few steps back, and forgive me for looking down because I need to get myself into grips with all of this. Let's go back to when Hillary as a primary, okay? The biggest thing, because that one was really straightforward for the Democrats, because it was Hillary versus Bernie. Talk us through that.
Well, actually, if you look into the whole primaries, there were 6 candidates from Democratic Party, but 4 of them they pull out because of the way they were performing. So at the end of the day, it was Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Both of them, they had very good plan. They were fantastic. And if you look into Bernie Sanders comes from a very different background. He comes from a very left-wing background. And if you look into Bernie Sanders' history as a senator, he's the way he voted in Congress all the time. He is very left-wing. He's very left-wing, and he's very popular among the young voters. He's very popular among the young voters, but Hillary Clinton, actually, she hold the middle ground, the mainstream Democrats together. And if you look into voting pattern, you'll find Hillary Clinton is also very liberal in terms of the politics of America, in terms of the way she voted in Congress when she was a senator of New York. She was very liberal as well. So, but Bernie Sanders gave a new dimension. In Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, he definitely gave a new dimension. He was very popular among the young voters, and Bernie Sanders successfully highlighted the income inequality, lack of social mobility, why the young people, they feel alienated in America, why the college, America invested more money in their prison system than their college studies. So he said, why he successfully highlighted all those crucial America system that's been going on for many years now.
Untouched as well.
Exactly.
Unargued, unconfronted.
Absolutely. And this is why you see somehow it influenced Hillary Clinton's policy as well. One of the good thing about Democratic Party is they are much more together. They are, if you speak to their supporters, if you speak to Democratic Party members, if you look into their poll, they think they are not divided, they are together. But if you look into Republican Party, they think they are divided. And so Hillary Clinton, she got 55.3% votes among the Democrat supporters, where Bernie Sanders got 43%, which is also, and she got about 17 million votes, where Bernie Sanders got more than 13 million. But if you look into Republican Party, they had 17 candidates.
Yeah.
As a big chunk.
Let's move on to that, because that's, I mean, just the final part of this second segment. In the Republicans, Donald Trump versus the other, how many did we say?
17. Altogether, there were 17.
Wow. 17 primaries. I mean, how did that?
Well, it was actually, you see, Donald Trump, no one even thought this man will be a presidential candidate from Republican Party. We shouldn't forget that Abraham Lincoln, one of the most successful and most cherished U.S. president, he was a Republican.
Yeah.
So no one ever thought that Donald Trump will become the presidential candidate. And when the Democrat, when they found that Donald Trump is running to become president, they were somehow happy that we want to see this guy, because this will give some sort of advantage to Democratic Party. But now he's Republican candidate, and somehow he's no way doing.
I mean, who were his? Mention his
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz is one of the most
Marco
known
Rubio,
ones.
Jeb Bush.
Yeah.
You know, 17. Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson.
So we had another member of the Bush family.
Bush family, Jeb Bush, but Jeb Bush did very well.
We had a Republican who probably epitomizes the Abraham Lincoln style in Ted Cruz, didn't we? And then we also had
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio, you know, an ethnic minority, a Mexican.
Yes.
The exact thing that Trump is, you know, trying to cancel out.
Exactly.
I was up against him.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, if you look into all their debates, their primaries, this personal attack, it didn't start now. It actually started that time. Donald Trump attacked Bush family. Jeb Bush was insulted so many times in front of his party members, in front of the public. He didn't even turn up for the national convention. He didn't even turn up for the national convention. Marco Rubio actually, he was a very good candidate. I think he's a very young man. He comes from that sort of immigrant background, but also at the same time, the sort of policy, the sort of speech that he was giving, it was way different than Donald Trump. But Donald Trump got around 44% of the votes. Ted Cruz got 23%, and Marco Rubio got 11%.
And out of 17, I mean, that's still quite of a landmark.
Exactly.
Is it true to say that, I mean, for Donald Trump, the Americans that are voting for him, the Americans that are supporting him, they see him as a breath of fresh air. They see him as somebody that has not done what any other politician is doing, which is telling you in your face.
Well, no, I don't necessarily agree with that, and I'll explain you why. Is because America wants to have new idea after every 4 or 8 years. We have seen Man of Hope, Barack Obama.
Yeah.
We have seen Man from Hope, Bill Clinton. We have seen after every 4 to 8 years time, we have seen new ideas, new policies, new style, new charisma. America always wants to adopt new structure, which is fantastic. But this man doesn't, he doesn't represent the America that we think. But also at the same time, if you look the way the election and who will get elected depends, is actually age, race, and education. Donald Trump is doing well in old age group, while Hillary Clinton is doing well among the young people, or people within their 45, 50s. If you look into education, people those who went to university or good college, they are more likely to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
People those who never been to school, or they didn't go that far, they are more likely to vote for Donald Trump. If you look into race, in 2012 election, out of 20 immigrant, 19 would probably vote for Barack Obama. Also, Democratic Party, they are very, very popular among the immigrants. They are very, very popular among the minorities.
Yeah.
And when Barack Obama was president, he was, he was doing fantastic well.
Hold your thought there, because we have still policies to talk about. So, hope you've been able to take in all of that, because I'm still taking it in. Don't go away. We're going for a quick break, and we'll be back very shortly.